Say good morning to one and all, and welcome to the Mid Morning Buzz here on K105. It's GT with you this morning, and welcome. And we're getting some feedback from some of the listeners and viewers out there. It seems to be raining on the outside. I haven't checked on the outside to see what it's like, but hope it's not that bad. I haven't gone out. Just from the feedback from callers, hey man, it's raining in my neck of the woods. Anyway, good morning to you folks, and welcome. And we have a bit of a special segment this morning that we're about to get into. And this morning we do have a couple of weeks ago there was a story that was actually aired via GBN TV pertaining to a youngster by the name of Tyler Smith. And there's been a process of him trying to get a prosthetic leg, and he had to travel to St. Lucia. I guess most of you may remember the story. And now this morning we do have with us, and that's Mr. Glen Alexander, together with Tyler. They are both in St. Lucia right now. Let's go over to them and say good morning. Glen, how you doing this morning? Good morning to you, sir, and glad to have you. I guess we both share the same first name. How you doing? Good morning to you, man. How you doing?
I am coping.
You're coping?
Coping well.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being with us on the Mid Morning Buzz this morning. And hey, Tyler, let me say good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Youngster?
Fine.
Are you doing fine? All right. Now, Glenn, I there's some information that you would like to share with our listening and viewing audience here in Grenada this morning in terms of the process that update us on the process in which you have gone through thus far. Let us know what the situation is like in terms of, Tyler went to get that prosthetic leg. You've been in St. Lucia, was it since September, the end of September, I would say?
September 28th.
September the 28th. Give us an update on the process that you both have gone through thus far, and where you're at now, and where things are leading to as we move on this morning.
Thank you, and thank you for having us. Well, prior to our appointment for Tyler to get his molding, the Friday before the said Tuesday, his left leg started oozing. And we were told that occurred because Tyler was more or less walking on his knees. And your knee is not something you should walk on. We were always thinking that it's a good thing. But the long and short of it is that there seemingly was some internal injury in Tyler's leg. So it started oozing, and just to be frank to say, it started bleeding. There was blood coming from it, and it was stale blood. So the blood had to be extracted. We spent almost a whole day at the hospital doing x-rays and different tests and so. And in the end, we got some medication to more or less extract the blood that was in the leg. In the end, it created a hole, and he needed to be healed before he proceeded, because in order to do the molding on the leg, it involved a bit of chemicals. And having an open wound and so forth, we had to get the doctor's permission for same. We only got the okay yesterday, and immediately the center started to work on us. But in order to achieve this, the molding will take place, then it have to cure, then the mold have to bake, and then tests have to be done on it. Initially, the whole process take 10 working days and an extra week to do the basic testing. And so, because with this, the bending and how strong it is, it must be tested before we are able to return to Grenada.
Well, I'm assuming there's going to be some costs that is going to be incurring this still. Is there a cost factor that's going to be incurring on you?
But basically, what the main thing is food, because I must thank the Francis family who have been hosting us. I must also say that during that process, we had to go to the health center daily, and every Thursday we go to the general hospital. And the cost is involved. We're fortunate to have a vehicle. I do the driving and so, but obviously, when you overstay, you feel like you overstay your time.
I understand.
It goes beyond. So the issue of the gas and the issue of food and so, mainly to cover that's where the expensive are.
Right.
And whatever support we have had before, I want to thank all the different agencies and individuals who assisted. But the honest truth is, it's because of the extension, it more or less dried up.
All right. Let me ask you this. I mean, I know Tyler has been with you since the end of September. You say, was it September the 28th? How is it affecting?
Yes.
How is it affecting him in terms of school and stuff like? How is it affecting him? Is there any major effect?
Well, I think maybe I should ask him to speak for himself. But basically, I will be engaged with him. The work that we got from the other teachers, and so we will be engaged with that. Additionally, I've instructed him, and I'm using the word instructed now, because when you're away from the classroom, you tend to feel, well, it's free time. So I've instructed him to do a diary, to do a daily record of what his encounters, his highs and his lows, and so to keep him in that vein. So he does maths, he does accents, he got a bit of English and a little of everything. And from time to time, we visit the Roseau Combined School to be in and sometimes I volunteer at that institution to do this stuff.
Okay, well that's great. Now, where does things lead? Where does it lead to now? We understand you had the option of getting the prosthetic fitted, the chemicals added, the baking was done. Where does it lead after this now? If you are able to share that information.
It's not baking. The molding.
It's molding. My molding. You make the molding. My bad.
The molding took place.
The molding took place.
When the molding is done, it must be smooth, and I'm also told that I should carry like a bandana, because the leg in itself, what did I say? The prosthetic leg could take, if he wants to. Well, he speaks of football and other sporting things, so I would have to design something so that it can be baked onto the leg. So you might, when you get it, it's not just a bare prosthetic leg, but you would see maybe football designs and so on. And so this is something that I have to do, and we were told that we'll be called next week to continue that process. But at the same time, I will, along with him, design it and have it printed so that when the time comes for it to be baked onto it, you will get that design. After which, remember, it takes about, what I'm told, 10 working days, and I was begging to see if possibly they can work through the weekend, but it doesn't work like that.
All right.
So the 10 working days and then the 5 to 7 days, maximum a week, to do that testing. So if there is any issue with the leg when it's fitted on, we have the option to correct it before we head back to Grenada.
Right. I mean, you did mention in your earlier statement that when you had that problem with the leg bleeding, has that ever occurred with Tyler before? Was it something new to have occurring with him?
No, and it is a lesson. It was a lesson for me, and I want to say that it's a lesson for all the children out there. Anyone who might have missing a limb, to walk on the knee is not a good thing. So what we realize is that have been there for a while. So whether it is an internal bleeding because the blood that came out of the leg was tail blood. All right, the color was different, and the good thing about Tyler is that it was not infected. The leg was not infected, so we were able to be healed. He was able. The leg have been healed. The injury have cured, and we're able to move on speedily. He's a strong guy.
I understand that has brought, some delays for you on a personal level and in terms of slowing down the whole process, because I'm assuming you were scheduled to be back when? When were you scheduled to be back?
On the 19th of September. I know my daughter cannot forgive me for missing her birthday. We have missed all the child month activities and looking in at all the football that is happening and so forth. And I know for Tyler, and I can say for myself, I miss my students. I miss my school. I miss going to school every day. But the good thing is that we sort of have the feeling like when COVID was high, when the teachers were in school and the students were at home. So this is a flip side. Right. I am home and the students are in school, because we occasionally have Zoom classes, and all my work with the students who are placed at my care is more or less done virtually. I'm able to give tests and get that kind of feedback and have that personal touch, even if that cannot be the face-to-face. But at the same time, my students, we just miss the face-to-face, but we're more or less engaged in work that we do.
All right. Glen, I certainly understand and happy that you're taking the time out to inform the viewing and listening public in Grenada about Tyler's progress. And I certainly hope that you said, well, there are 10 working days that hopefully all goes well in terms of the leg fitted properly. There's no issues that would occur, and would be a go, and you folks will be able to come back home, and he'll be able to have a sense of normalcy in terms of going back to school and just his way of life. And I certainly hope that works out well in as soon as possible in terms of your return.
I don't know if Tyler wants to say anything.
Well, Tyler, I'm not sure if you want to say anything. Send some love to family and let them know that you're doing okay, and you friends at school also, and you're patiently waiting to return and get back to a bit of normalcy when you get back. Anything you want to say, Tyler? I don't think Tyler's want to say anything.
I want to say hello to my mom, my family, everyone that is out there watching me. Just want to say thank you and have a nice day.
All right. Let me just ask you this, Tyler. Through the process of getting the prosthetic fitted up and stuff, how did you feel? How was the feeling for you?
I was feeling joy.
There's a sense of joy.
Yeah.
All right. And I guess you can't wait to return home and to be able to move around with a little bit more ease with your friends and even family, I would assume.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you both once again, Mr. Glen Alexander and Tyler. I want to thank you both for taking the opportunity to, of course, sharing information with us, and we certainly appreciate it a whole lot. Glen, I'm not sure if there's anything final you would like to say to the viewing and listening audience out there, just before we take a wrap for today.
Thank Chibian, Chrislina and so forth, and the staff who have supported. We speak behind the scenes as to what we're going through daily. So if I need a shoulder to bank, and she has been there for me. So I want to thank her publicly and thank all those who supported Tyler's effort. This is not about me, but this is about giving an opportunity to Tyler. And like I say to him behind the scenes, he's quite fortunate, and he has to more or less bring about that change in himself, not for me or for anybody else, but to have a better life for himself. So I want to thank you and thank all those who have supported this trip to St. Lucia. We continue to cope, and we hope to return soon.
All right. Once again, I want to thank you both for being part of the Mid-Morning Buzz this morning, and hope to see you folks and get more information from you when you do return. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks, it's the Mid-Morning Buzz here on the K105 and the GBN TV. We're just speaking to Mr. Glen Alexander and Tyler Smith. They're both in St. Lucia, and they want to say thanks for the support that they were given, and I certainly hope to see them on the return pretty soon. Thank you, folks, for being part of the Mid-Morning Buzz this morning here on K105. Until, have a good one, folks.